So Xbox just had themselves a pretty good little showcase. I just got through watching their developer direct, and they had two games that I'm really into, and then two games that I'm kind of on the fence about. I think the job of this direct was to get me interested in those games, and I'm kind of maybe less interested in them. And I kind of want to dive into why that's so. I want to start with the highs, and they ended the show with probably the best demonstration of gameplay, and that is Doom: The Dark Ages. Goodness gracious. This just kind of kept escalating, right? That's how you want to show these games off. You want to start with something small, and then it just gets bigger and badder and more crazy, and they just keep adding on to the sort of bombasticness of what this video game is. I love how they demonstrated the differences between the Doom games and why this game is more grounded. Showing them side by side was huge. I think that like really showcased what the devs were going for when starting development on the Dark Ages, and even going back to the old school classic Doom feel and showing that gameplay, and then compared to this gameplay, I thought that was really well done. I really like how this game's focusing on story and exploration a little bit more as well, and the way that they showcase that here. There's like full-on cutscenes and dialogue between characters, and I think that's awesome. I really do. And they mentioned that previously they used these like codex entries to kind of express the lore of the story, and I remember that in Eternal, and it kind of made me bounce off the game a little bit. It definitely I don't know, it was pretty hard to understand, just walls of text of like writings about devils and demons and things that it was just kind of nonsense, to be real with you. So I do hope that they ground that stuff and kind of well-round it a little bit more to make it a little more accessible. They did mention that this is going to be a good entry point for new players, and I think that's super important. Look, it's Doom. It looks amazing. There's a giant fucking mech, man. That shit looks insane. Flying around, doing the spaceship shooting stuff looks insane. I thought they showed enough compelling reasons to give this Doom game a try. And I think that that's important. That's a thumbs up. That was one of the highs of the showcase. One of the lows for me, and I don't want to say low, and I don't want to, crap all over this game because I don't fully know everything about it, but Expedition 33 Clair Obscure, or whatever this game is called, something about it is just not clicking. Maybe it's just the crazy overuse of bloom. Like, goodness gracious, this game kind of looks like an early PS3 game if you squint your eyes. Like, it's very foggy and blurry and just, I don't know, like, it does look really good graphically, but at the same time it kind of doesn't because of that. Maybe it's being just really compressed because of all that fog and bloom, and maybe it's just not showing well on the stream. I do really like the art direction. I like how they showed the towns and the world map, and having a world map in a new 3D JRPG is cool. That's something we haven't seen in quite a while. I like how they demonstrated that here. I like how unique the airship is in the game, just being this weird pillow dude that's bouncing all around the place. There is a lot of uniqueness about the game, and I have to give it credit where credit is due, and that's how original everything feels. But at the same time, everything feels so melodramatic. They're not selling me on these characters. They're not selling me on this story. And I think that that's really important for a JRPG, is to get the player to care about the characters. And pretty much at every chance they have, they squander it with just weird, stilted dialogue.
I'm always missing something that everyone else just gets.
I just gotta be honest, I know the concept of the game and the general story. It actually is really interesting. Like, I do like the context of this world and what's happening. But there's just not a single interesting thing that is spoken by a character in this gameplay demonstration. The developers mentioned that this is going to be a very grounded and dark story filled with adult themes and adult characters, and I'm not feeling that, man. I'm really not. I see disgruntled and sad faces, but I don't see any reasoning behind them. I don't feel the emotion. I don't feel the weight of the situation at hand. I don't even know the situation at hand. I don't know, there's just something about the story that is not coming across well to me. And I would even say, like, the actual world as well. Like, yeah, there is this really pretty looking overworld map. That's awesome. I'm way into that. I think that is a great idea, and it is absolutely not done enough in video games. I'm really glad that the devs put time into that. But I don't see any, like, walking around town. I don't see anyone talking to NPCs and walking around town and finding treasure. Like, I see a lot of stylistic combat that I'm not a huge fan of. We'll get to that. But I'm not seeing any meaningful exploration in this world. And I think meaningful exploration is also really, really important in a JRPG. And I'm not saying it's not in this game. I'm saying that they failed at showing it in this showcase. And the actual gameplay, like, it's definitely going for this, like, dynamic, turn-based RPG situation. It kind of reminds me of, like, 13, a little Final Fantasy 13. Obviously reminds me of Persona or even Metaphor at this point. But I don't know, it just doesn't look super fun to me. I don't know. I hate to shit on this game because it's ticking all the boxes, right? Big, JRPG stylized game that's made by these French devs. That's awesome. I'm way into that. What a great idea to get, like, a French perspective on a JRPG. Sick. Let's check that. Really cool voice actors and really great talent involved. Check. Let's get that in there. Really cool looking art direction and pretty decent looking character designs. Let's check that. It's like hitting these boxes, but nothing is hitting its mark for me. I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I still want to be optimistic about the game. I'm still, like, hoping that there's something there that hooks me. Maybe I need to see I wish they just showed full gameplay. Like, let's show, like, a good little level here. Let's show 3 minutes of a character exploring a town and talking to an NPC or getting into a fight and seeing how that works. And also when they show the skills and I just see a giant list, they literally say over 100 passive abilities. I have to roll my eyes at that. Come on, dude. I don't think there's a single person in the world that looks at a list like this and goes, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to that. That looks like a chore to me. Let's go on to the next high of this Xbox showcase, and that is, holy shit, it's the year of the ninja. We're talking about Ninja Gaiden 4, dude. Where did this come from? Where did this come from? I remember hearing some rumblings. I think it was Tom Warren over on Twitter that was talking about, oh, there's going to be some mysterious Japanese game at this showcase. A beloved franchise. Japanese game. Xbox. A lot of people were getting excited. Me, myself included. A lot of people were thinking a new Final Fantasy. Are we talking FF9 remake on the Xbox? Are we talking... Oh, yeah, there was a lot of discussion about what Japanese game could appear here. And I gotta be honest, I was not thinking Ninja Gaiden until I saw Team Ninja appear on the screen. It looks fucking good, man. It looks really, really good. And Xbox has a knack for just showing off games, saying, hey, look at this really, really cool shit from Japan. You can play this soon. And they even shadow dropped Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which may or may not be a big mistake by them. I'm not sure. They don't have a good track record with shadow drops, but again, Ninja Gaiden is a dormant franchise, I should say, that has kind of escaped the zeitgeist, and I do think it's important to get a Ninja Gaiden game in the people's hands as quick as possible to get people interested in a Ninja Gaiden 4. Look, it's bloody. We're jumping all over the place. It's definitely, like, I'll be totally real with you. When they showed Ninja Gaiden 4, there was a beefy gameplay segment. They showed a lot of this game. I'm really impressed by the visuals. But then they show Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and it looks like almost arguably better, if I'm being real with you. Like, there's just something about obviously it's Unreal Engine 5, and, like, it might look a little crispier, but also, like, the art direction and the enemy design looks a little better to me. Like, I'm really looking forward to playing Ninja Gaiden Black. But again, 4 I thought showcased really, really well. So initially I had 2 lows and 2 highs, and South of Midnight was going to be the last low of the show. But while editing the video, I discovered that they actually put out a story trailer for South of Midnight. And one of my big qualms with the South of Midnight showing was the lack of story being shown, with the lack of empathy towards any of the characters. Like, I wasn't connecting with anyone or even the world. They showed a great art style and great level design, and just the general vibe is good, but I don't care. And then while I'm editing, I discover this trailer, and it gives me a reason to care. The trailer is fucking excellent. They show a ton of dialogue, and they really show what's going on in this world. There's other players, there's other characters, there's hierarchies and shit. And yeah, I'm still gonna say that's bullshit. Like, they should have shown this stuff in that showcase because it's a very strong trailer. But it's no longer a low for me. The trailer kind of sold me a little bit. I still want to say the combat feels a little off to me, especially in a showcase where you have something like Ninja Gaiden 4, which is super fast paced and bleeding edge and crazy. We're flipping and dipping, and in this, it feels a little more sludgy. And again, they keep cutting away from the combat. Every time like we're in a fight, I feel like we get pulled from it. They show these bombastic boss fights, but I wish they kind of just let it play, let the scene breathe a little bit more. But again, my biggest issue with South of Midnight was the lack of story being shown, and that trailer kind of alleviated it fixed the problem. It fixed the problem for me. I think the story actually looks really good, and I've connected with the main character Hazel. I actually know her name now because of the trailer. Yeah, well done. Really, really good trailer to completely flip my perspective on it. If you're not sold on South of Midnight yet, I definitely recommend checking out that story trailer. It made me buy the world and buy the characters a lot more. I'll still call it a low of the show, to be honest with you, because they failed to show that aspect of the game during this developer direct, but I just couldn't in good conscience shit on the game for a lack of a story when it's there. They just didn't show it off in this showcase, but it's definitely there. I'm digging it. I do want to emphasize here, this was a good showcase. I go online and most people are very positive about all of the games that were shown, and I think that Xbox did a good enough job. If most people are saying 2 thumbs up, good job Xbox. That's a thumbs up for Xbox for sure. And I do want to state, Xbox has what's looking to be a very, very impressive year ahead of them. I'm talking about Avowed. I really wish, honestly, they showed a little bit of Avowed here. I feel like a lot of people are not talking enough about that game. I'm a little worried about Avowed, but I'm still super stoked. It's Obsidian. I think it could be really good. They have Avowed coming out this year. They have South of Midnight. They have Doom. They have Expedition 33. And we don't even know what's popping off in the fall. Like, is Fable legit gonna make it this year? Is Perfect Dark gonna make it this year? No way. I can't believe that. Make sure to comment down below and give me your thoughts on everything that was shown off at this Xbox showcase. What did you think of Ninja Gaiden? What did you think of South of Midnight? What's your most anticipated Xbox game? Do you think Fable's coming this year? Comment below and give me your thoughts. Thank you so very much for getting through this video and watching. I really, really appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And go down in the description below. Check out some of those links. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Twitch. Hit me up. Watch my stuff. And until next time, party on.